Hey everyone, welcome back. In today's video, I'll give you the overview of the AP Mechanical exam. I'll discuss the topics of AP Mechanical, probable number of questions from each section, and finally I'll share my own study schedule which helped me to pass the AP Mechanical in the first attempt. So stay tuned until the end. In the exam, you will face 110 questions from these 14 chapters. As you can see, there are roughly 53 subsections from where the questions may come. Now, I say the words may come because most of the time, all of these sections will not be covered, and you will not get any questions from 5 to 6 subsections that are shown here. Another thing to note here is that many chapters can overlap. So the number of questions from each chapter you are seeing on the right columns does vary a little bit. Also, as marked by the red color, studying for AP exam myself, participating in the official practice exam and finally attending the actual exam, I would say that you will not actually see the 9 to 14 questions from the mechanical design and analysis part. To be honest, that is a trivial part of the AP exam, and generally the questions from these sections are pretty easy because most of the formula here are long with a lot of variables. Most of these questions will have all the data and you will just need to plug in the data and solve the answer. If I put aside the many YouTube videos that I watched, I only use 3 resources for my AP mechanical preparation. First one is obviously the AP reference manual. This is the only resource that will help you during the exam. So have a good knowledge about how to use this masterpiece. I will discuss more about it in the next section of this video. The second book is the AP Mechanical Review Manual. This book has detailed discussion of each of the chapters and formulas with examples and also a diagnostic test in front of every topic. Overall, this is enough for the review. If not, you can always refer to YouTube for certain topics. The final book you will need for the preparation is the AP Mechanical Practice Problems. This book has section-wise practice problems and answers at the end. So after reviewing a chapter from the AP Mechanical Review Manual, solve the practice problems here and move on to the next chapter. I have added the Amazon links of these books in the description of this video. However, an easy way to get them for free is to look at your local university library. I got the AP Other Discipline Review Manual for free from the University of Maryland College Park Library. The only thing about the Other Discipline Review Manual is that it doesn't have the thermodynamics section. You can also search AP Mechanical in Reddit and look for the electronic versions of these books. The older versions will also just work fine. As I said before, the AP Reference Manual should be your center of attention during your preparation. The following are the few tips that I cannot but mention about using this book. First, whatever you do, always refer to this manual. Whether you are practicing a problem or reviewing some topics, always keep the manual open in front of you for that chapter. Next, every time you use a value like Young's modulus or the density of air, try to find it from the review manual. It will help you to get used to it and help to find other values during the exam. Finally, one thing that I forgot to mention in the last video is that in the exam, you will have a straight line tool in the reference manual. So if you need to extract an exact value from a complex graph like psychrometric chart or something else, you can always use that straight line tool to get the exact value. Now let me discuss my own study plan with you. So I always started a chapter by taking the diagnostic exam at the beginning of that chapter in the AP Mechanical Review Manual. After that, I started reviewing this chapter section by section and try to solve the example problems by myself. After the completion of reviewing of one chapter, if still there are any topics that seems unclear to you, just go to YouTube and watch 1 or 2 videos on the basic of that topic and try to understand them better. Finally, the AP Mechanical Practice Problems book has section by sections practice problems. Each section has around like 10 to 15 problems, so try to solve them now. And even after solving them and checking the answer, if some solution seems inconvenient to you, just go back and forth between YouTube and your solutions to get a solid grasp of that topic. Finally, I will suggest that you should buy the practice exam during the registration of your exam, because then you will get a 10% discount, and the practice exam represents the actual AP exam. However, the exam is only 2 hours and 30 minutes with only 50 questions. It's not the full exam. Finally, after I completed my review and practicing all the problems from the AP Mechanical Practice Problems book, this was my final 5 days review plan. In 3 days, I reviewed all the topics and I also reviewed the problems that I marked during the practice problems. Then the day before the exam, I took a whole day rest. I didn't do anything or I didn't even look at a single formula. And finally, on the exam day, I woke up early and just went to the exam center. Now, I prepared for FE when I was not in a job. So if you are in a job, this schedule might not hold for you, but you can always modify it according to your needs. This was all for today's video. I hope that I have covered all your questions and concerns about the preparation of FE mechanical exam. If you have queries about the registration process or the exam center experience, you can refer to my previous video whose link is in the description. Please feel free to comment your thoughts. Until then, see you all.